Before becoming a billion-dollar empire, they were just kids loving speed on the streets of Los Angeles. This is where the legend began. 25 years later, Vin Diesel has everything, but we lost the brightest smile. Paul Walker. Gone too soon, leaving a void that can never be filled. Let's look back at the Fast 1 cast, then and now. Paul Walker, born in 1973, was the undeniable soul of this franchise. In 2001, at 27 years old, he hit the scene as Brian O'Connor, the undercover cop with the piercing blue eyes and the iconic orange Toyota Supra. Paul brought a California cool vibe that was impossible to fake, because he wasn't just acting, he was a certified gearhead in real life who personally selected the cars for the film. Before Fast, he was a teen heartthrob in She's All That, but the streets of LA are where he found his true home. However, his story remains the deepest scar of the saga. On November 30th, 2013, the world stopped when Paul tragically died in a car crash at the age of 40, a cruel irony that broke millions of hearts. Now in 2026, it has been over 12 years since he left us. He would have been 52 today, but in our memories, he remains forever young. His legacy lives on through his daughter Meadow and his charity, Reach Out Worldwide. Every time we hear "See You Again," we know he is still riding with us. If one day the speed kills me, do not cry because I was smiling. Vin Diesel, born Mark Sinclair in 1967, roared onto the screen as the patriarch Dominic Toretto. In 2001, at 33 years old, with his deep gravelly voice and massive physique, he defined what it meant to live life a quarter mile at a time. Here is a secret. Vin almost rejected the role. He fought to rewrite the script, transforming Dom from a simple thug into an anti-hero with a strict moral code of loyalty. His journey was rocky. He actually walked away from the franchise after the first film, but returned in 2009 to take full control as the lead producer, steering the ship into a multi-billion-dollar empire. Fast forward to 2026, at 58 years old, Vin is a true Hollywood mogul. While the internet loves to meme his obsession with family, there is no denying his impact. From Riddick to Guardians of the Galaxy, he is everywhere, but he will always be Dom. He proved to the world that you don't turn your back on family, and the fans have never turned their backs on him. Michelle Rodriguez, born in 1978, redefined what it meant to be an action heroine as the fierce Letty Ortiz. In 2001, at just 23 years old, she wasn't just the girlfriend. She was the original ride-or-die chick who could handle a wrench better than most guys. A crazy, behind-the-scenes fact, Michelle almost quit the movie before shooting began because the original script had Letty cheating on Dom with Brian. She fought to change it, proving her loyalty to the character from day one. Her journey has been a roller coaster. She was killed off in the fourth movie, only to be resurrected by fan demand, cementing her status as the queen of tough girl roles in blockbusters like Avatar and Resident Evil. Now in 2026, at 47 years old, Michelle is still a powerhouse in Hollywood. She remains unmarried, living life on her own terms, and continues to be the grit and spine of the Fast saga. She proved that you don't need a damsel in distress when you have a warrior in the driver's seat. Jordana Brewster, born in 1980, played Mia Toretto, the sweet yet sharp-witted sister who served as the emotional anchor of the crew. At 21 years old, she was the calm in the storm of testosterone, balancing the rivalry between Brian and Dom. The funniest irony? Jordana didn't even have a driver's license when she cast for a movie about illegal street racing. She had to take lessons right on set. Unlike her co-stars, she took a different path, stepping away briefly to graduate from Yale University, proving she had both beauty and brains. Over the years, Mia became the heart of the saga, carrying the legacy of Brian O'Connor after Paul's passing. Checking in today at 45 years old in 2026, Jordana is aging like fine wine. She recently found happiness in her personal life, remarrying in a beautiful ceremony. She remains the warm, beating heart of the Toretto family, reminding us that home is wherever your family is. Chad Lindbergh, born in 1976, played Jesse, the brilliant but anxious mechanic who became the first heart-wrenching loss of the saga. In 2001, at 24 years old, he stole our hearts as the ADD genius who famously overnighted parts from Japan to build the Supra. His tragic death on the front lawn of the Toretto house was the moment the franchise grew up, proving that street racing had deadly consequences. Unlike his character who never got to leave LA, Chad found a very different calling. Now in 2026, at 49 years old, he has traded drag races for ghost hunting. He is a professional paranormal investigator and a regular on shows like Ghost Adventures. Chad deeply embraces the Jesse legacy, frequently traveling the world to meet fans and often reuniting with replicas of his iconic Volkswagen Jetta. He is the tech wizard who found magic in the afterlife. Matt Schulze, born in 1972, brought the intensity as Vince, the muscle of the crew who trusted no one, especially Brian. At 28 years old, with his tank tops and scars, he was the antagonist within the family, the only one who correctly sniffed out that Brian was a cop from day one. While he disappeared for a decade, Matt made a triumphant return in Fast 5, 2011, for a redemption arc that ended in a hero's sacrifice to save Dom, closing his chapter perfectly. Checking in today at 53 years old, Matt keeps a notoriously low profile, much like a true drifter. He stepped away from major blockbusters to focus on music and smaller acting projects. You won't find him all over social media, but real fans respect him as the guy who loved Mia, loved Dom, and ultimately gave his life for the family he protected so fiercely. Johnny Strong, born in 1974, played Leon, the most mysterious member of the original team. At 26 years old, he was the crowd controller driving the yellow Nissan Skyline R33, famously yelling, "Pizza boy, find another way home." Here is the biggest mystery of the entire franchise. After the first movie, Leon just drove off and was never seen or mentioned again. He is the only original member who vanished into thin air. Why? Because Johnny Strong chose art over fame. Now 51 years old in 2026, he is a true Renaissance man, a rock musician with his band operator, a martial artist, and even a professional knife maker. He never looked back at Hollywood blockbusters, preferring to make indie action films on his own terms. He remains the great what if of the Fast saga. Rick Yoon, born in 1971, set the bar high as Johnny Tran, the franchise's very first villain. In 2001, at 29 years old, he wasn't just a thug. He was a sophisticated, cold-blooded rival who ran the Little Saigon crime ring. Rick brought genuine martial arts skills and an icy stare to the role, delivering the legendary line, "Too soon, Junior?" While most villains in this series are forgettable, Johnny Tran was terrifying because he was real. His career, post-Fast, saw him continuing to play the elegant bad guy in hits like Die Another Day and Olympus Has Fallen. Now in 2026, at 54 years old, Rick seems to have discovered the fountain of youth. He barely looks a day older than he did in 2001. He remains active in the industry, proving that being the bad guy is a good business. And he will always be remembered as the man who forced Dom to pull the trigger. Ja Rule, born in 1976, gave us one of the most quotable moments in history as Edwin, the cocky street racer. At 25 years old, he was at the absolute peak of his rap career, famously screaming "Monica" after losing the opening race. But here is the massive what-if story. The studio wanted him back for the sequel with a huge paycheck, but Ja Rule turned it down. That role, Tej Parker, went to Ludacris, who wrote it to multi-million-dollar stardom. It is arguably one of the biggest missed opportunities in Hollywood history. Following the infamous Fyre Festival controversy, Ja Rule has had a bumpy road. Today, at nearly 50 years old in 2026, he is still touring and making music. While he missed out on the Fast family fortune, his cameo remains iconic, reminding us all that it's not how you stand by your car, it's how you race it. Noel Guglielmi, born in 1970, is the legend known simply as Hector. At 30 years old in 2001, he was the street race organizer, the guy with the Honda Civic running a spoon engine. But here is the wild part. Noel has played a gangster named Hector in seemingly every movie and TV show imaginable, from Bruce Almighty to Fresh Off the Boat, creating what fans call the Hectorverse. He is the ultimate character actor who found a niche and owned it completely. Unlike his tough on-screen persona, the real Noel is a deeply spiritual man who gives motivational speeches at churches. Checking in today at 55 years old, he is one of the hardest working actors in the business. He proved that there are no small parts, only small actors. And nobody plays Hector better than Hector himself. Reggie Lee, born in 1975, played Lance Nguyen, the silent but deadly cousin and right-hand man of Johnny Tran. In 2001, at 25 years old, he was the cool, menacing presence often seen on a dirt bike or wearing those unforgettable snakeskin pants. While his character met a messy end involving a dirt bike crash, Reggie's real-life career skyrocketed. He broke out of the silent thug stereotype to become a major television star, most famously as the beloved Sergeant Wu in the hit supernatural series Grimm and appearing in Prison Break. Now in 2026, at 50 years old, Reggie is a prominent advocate for Asian American representation in Hollywood. He has aged incredibly well and remains a busy actor, proving that the sidekick can eventually become the main attraction. Vito Ruginis, born in 1956, is the unsung hero of the movie as Harry, the owner of the Racer's Edge parts shop. At 45 years old, he played the fatherly boss who unknowingly facilitated Brian's undercover mission. Without Harry, there is no NOS, no overnight parts from Japan, and no 10-second car. He was the glue connecting the cop world to the street world. Vito is the definition of, hey, it's that guy, a hardworking character actor who has appeared in everything from Moneyball to CSI. Checking in today at 70 years old, Vito is enjoying his status as a respected veteran. While he wasn't a racer, his role was crucial. He was the one who gave Brian a job and a place to start, effectively lighting the fuse for the entire Fast saga. Ted Levine, born in 1957, brought serious gravity to the film as Sergeant Tanner, the stressed-out FBI boss overseeing Brian's operation. At 44 years old, it was amusing for film buffs to see the man who played the terrifying Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs now playing the good guy, lawman. He was the voice of reason, constantly reminding Brian of the budget and the danger. Ted's career is nothing short of legendary, having iconic runs as Captain Stottlemyre in Monk and voicing intense characters in animation. Now 68 years old in 2026, Ted is a heavyweight in the industry. He brought a level of gritty realism to the Fast and the Furious that helped ground the movie, reminding us that behind the shiny cars, there was a serious crime story unfolding. Tom Barry, born in 1950, played Agent Bilkins, the stern, no-nonsense FBI agent who had zero patience for Brian's loose cannon style. At 50 years old, he was the perfect foil to the young cast, constantly grumbling about budgets and wrecked cars. Fans loved him because, despite his grumpy exterior, he developed a genuine respect for Brian, returning for Too Fast, Too Furious, where we saw his lighter side. Outside the franchise, Tom became a household name as the calm and steady detective in the long-running hit series Cold Case. Checking in today at 75 years old in 2026, Tom is a respected veteran enjoying a quieter life. He represents the authority figure we all feared but secretly liked, the dad of the operation who just wanted everyone to come home safe. Monica Tamayo, born around the early 80s, holds a unique place in pop culture history as Monica. At roughly 20 years old, she had very little screen time, yet she is responsible for one of the most famous memes on the internet. She was the girl Ja Rule was trying to impress, leading to his desperate, high-pitched scream, "Monica," after he lost the race. That single moment immortalized her. Unlike the others, Monica didn't chase Hollywood fame. She vanished from the industry almost immediately after the film. Now in 2026, estimated to be around 45, she lives a completely private life away from the spotlight. She remains the mysterious beauty of the street racing world, forever echoed in Ja Rule's legendary defeat. Neil H. Moritz, born in 1959, is the ultimate Easter egg of the movie. In 2001, at 41 years old, he made a cameo as the Ferrari driver, the arrogant rich guy who gets smoked by Brian and Dom in a drag race. His line, "More than you can afford, pal, Ferrari," is legendary. But here is the twist. Neil isn't just an actor. He is the lead producer of the entire Fast and Furious franchise. He is the man who bought the rights to the original article and built this multi-billion-dollar empire from scratch. So, when Brian beat him, he was essentially smoking his boss. Now 66 years old in 2026, Neil is one of the most powerful producers in Hollywood history. Ironically, thanks to this series, he can now afford as many Ferraris as he wants. He is the true godfather of the Fast saga. Rob Cohen, born in 1949, gave himself a hilarious cameo as the pizza delivery guy. At 52 years old, he was the frustrated driver stuck on the street when Leon yelled, "Pizza boy, find another way home." But make no mistake, Rob was the most important person on set. He was the director of the movie. He is the visionary who visited an illegal street race in New York, saw the potential, and convinced the studio to make this film. He invented the camera zooming inside the engine shot that became the franchise's trademark visual style. Now 76 years old in 2026, Rob has had a long career directing other action hits like XXX and The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. While he faced some personal controversies in later years, professionally, he remains the architect who laid the first brick of this multi-billion-dollar saga. He was the pizza boy who delivered a global phenomenon. R.J. de Vera, born in 1977, appeared as Danny Yamato, the driver famously playing Gran Turismo in his Honda Civic before the race started. At 23 years old, he wasn't really an actor, he was car culture royalty. R.J. was brought on as a technical consultant to ensure the cars and the lingo were authentic. If you like the modified imports in the movie, thank R.J. He helped bridge the gap between Hollywood and the real street racing scene. His career exploded after the film, becoming a judge on car shows, a host for Motor Trend, and a high-level executive at SEMA. Checking in today at 48 years old in 2026, R.J. is widely respected as a legend in the automotive aftermarket industry. He is the real deal who proved that you can turn a passion for tuning cars into a lifelong empire. After 25 years, time has shaped the cast of Fast and Furious in many different ways. Each journey reflects growth beyond the film itself. If you enjoyed this then, please like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and continue watching more Cast Stories.